Today we are talking about nonlinear storytelling. My name is Gina. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. A nonlinear story, when it is presented to the audience in its final form, it is actually going to have all of the same beats that a traditional structure would. They just are coming from a story that has been told out of order. But this is a story that if you were to tell it in order, would be quite boring and or confusing, and so chopping it up and telling it non-linearly is what makes it have the expected structure and what makes it feel interesting to the audience. Now, there are many important and impressive filmmakers who do this all of the time. David Mitchell was a novelist that did this with Cloud Atlas. Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino love to do this. I am not the type of person who likes to sit and watch very serious and important movies. I am more of a sitcom gal, so I am unsurprisingly going to give you a bunch of How I Met Your Mother episodes to watch. The advantage with a sitcom is that you can watch a whole bunch of them. You can watch 3 episodes in an hour, which means that you can start to get a sense for this a lot more quickly than if you are sitting down to watch multiple 2.5 hour movies. So if you look at 3 Days of Snow, The Time Travelers, The Burning Beekeeper, these are all episodes that are told completely out of order, but when they are presented to the audience in their final form, they feel like they are in order. They feel like they hit all of the same beats because we have jumbled up the story that otherwise would have been really boring and really uninteresting or confusing. But the one that I'm going to direct your attention to is the pineapple incident. This happens in season one. It's season one, episode 10. You don't need to know a lot about the show in order to be able to watch this one. This is early on, it's in season one. But the story is told completely out of order. Basically, Ted gets some bad news at the beginning of the episode. Okay, Ted finds out that Robin is dating somebody else at the beginning of the episode. He gets blackout drunk, wakes up the next morning with a bunch of mysterious stuff happening around him, and he has to try to piece together his night based on the little chunks that everybody else knows. So he wakes up with a dark haired woman in his bed, a pineapple on his nightstand, a sprained ankle, and his jacket has been burned all to pieces. But Lily and Marshall don't know about most of that. And then they don't even know where Barney is. And then when they find Barney, he knows about a little bit more of it, but not all of it. And it's not even the next segment of the night that he knows about. And so they piece together this night that Ted had, how he came about finding a pineapple, getting his jacket burned, spraining his ankle, getting the woman that's in his bed. All of these things come together, but they don't come together in order, but they are revealed in an order that makes the story feel cohesive and it makes it feel like a standard sitcom episode. They also have a really neat red herring trick in this episode as well, making you think that Robin is involved in a way that she's not. And the way that they do this and the misdirection that they use is actually very clever as well. So, nonlinear storytelling, you can go into a story saying, I want to tell something out of order, in which case I would advise that you write the story in order and realize like where the highs and the lows are, where the peaks and valleys are, where the slow and the fast portions of the story are, and then chop it up in a way that it fits into your beat sheet. So you're going to write the entire story and then you're going to use the pieces and say, haha, this feels like an inciting incident, even though it, happens at like the 40% mark of the story. So you're going to yank it out of place and put it in place of where the inciting incident goes. And then you're going to do that with all of the rest of the piece. It'd be like, this feels like the darkest moment. This feels like the midpoint where the character is going from being reactive to proactive. Again, in the real story, it happened in an order that doesn't feel like a good story. So you are rearranging it in order to have it give the audience the feeling that they expect from a story.